Okay, hey, I gotta go, man. I'm about to get on an airplane. I got 400 people flying out today. What do you got, man? What do you got? What do you
400.
got?
400 really to all these states to what? Nevada, to Arizona, Pennsylvania.
That's right. That's right. And I gotta meet him out there. I walk the talk, man. I walk the talk.
That's great, man. That's good leadership. That's good
So
leadership.
so what is this? What do you got, man? What do you
All
got?
right, man. I want to talk today about the fucking strategic brilliance of the Harris campaign. Okay.
The FSB. That's not a good FSB is not a good it's not a good acronym, okay?
Okay. All right. I don't know.
Strategic
What?
fucking brilliance.
Okay, let's start this one over.
No, 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 no.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
all right.
We're
What do
going.
you yeah, what is it? What do you got?
Okay.
What is it?
So, look, I have studied and taught about political campaigns since the late 1990s. Fortunate to have that kind of a job at the University of Washington. And I've been studying presidential campaigns really from Reagan forward.
Okay.
Okay. From
Yeah, okay, hold on. So you were and you did that for a couple decades. You had some teacher of the year stuff in there. You were chair for a while. I mean, you had some accolades, man. You're pretty good at your job. People think that anyone can just hop on a camera and do well, but you've had some practice. All right.
so I and what I've always been uh fascinated by is the strategies of campaigns. Okay.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so even when I disagree
To be
personally,
clear, you no longer work there. Hold on. I don't want to hold on. He no longer works for or speaks for the University of Washington.
I am
That's
not a public employee anymore. Okay.
I just we don't need you to get in trouble. Okay. Again, it's been a long time. All right. So political strategy. You're right. We talk about it a lot. Actually, some of the political strategy that goes into how we have formed and run Common Power, actually.
Uh, well, yeah, I appreciate that, and it's what it energizes me. I mean, like, it's I even when I radically disagree with the positions and the ideas of candidates, I got to give credit where credit's due when
Hmm.
it's there, right?
Yep.
Um, I mean, so from about basically Lyndon Johnson in 1964 forward, I've been intrigued, fascinated, obsessed, and studied these campaigns. So I want to say that right now that the Harris campaign is running a strategically brilliant campaign.
And
Okay.
I want to agree with you now. I think in the very beginning, I remember I disagreed.
Okay. No,
And I said it was all Kamala, right? I said that early on it was about Kamala and it was about the people. Because it was so early, right? And she went viral basically because the internet was like, yes, we lift her up. The young folks are like, yes, we would like to meme her, and it's all good. But now I think you've got a point because now we're into she only maintains that level of success and energy. She only maintains the hold of the polls and getting people out to vote because there's massive levels of strategy involved.
so one way you get insights into a campaign strategy is their messages.
Okay.
What do they say over
Okay.
and over and over again? So we've talked about that, and we've talked about the way that she's attacking Trump as weak and unstable. Uh,
Hmm.
but I want to talk today about the strategy of how you campaign and where you campaign. Okay,
Okay.
how and where. All
And
right.
who with? And who with?
Yeah, that's what I mean by how. Okay.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Got it.
So I want to share. I put together a few things. Um, we gotta, this is a little bit of a. I'm doing my workout this morning, and I'm thinking, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh my god, I got to think of something. I mean, no, I thought of something, and I wanted to get out. I wanted to end my workout right then and start working on this, but I'm like, no, 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 I can't. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so for the last hour, I've been putting this together while you've been saying, Domke, I gotta go. I gotta go to the airport. Okay. So I appreciate you giving me like 10 minutes here before you get on the plane.
Let's do it, man. I'm in.
This is New York Times data. Okay.
Mm,
And it was published yesterday. Okay.
okay.
This is where Harris on the left, Trump on the right have been campaigning since September 1st. Let's take a look at Trump on the right first. All right.
Hmm.
First of all, well, what you notice first of all is that they're both obviously dominated. They're all both focusing on a couple states. All right.
Yeah.
They're not going to 50 different states, but you do see that Trump is in Pennsylvania, he's in Michigan, he's in Wisconsin, he's in Georgia, he's in
Yeah.
Florida.
All the battlegrounds you would expect, and then some other ones that you wouldn't expect.
Right. He's also in a Utah, a Colorado, a
Yeah. For
California,
what?
a New York. He's
Yeah.
going to Madison Square Garden next week to reenact the Nazi rally of 1939. I think it was 1938 or 1939,
Hmm.
because he wants that big Madison Square Garden like star treatment. So here's Trump on the right, and here's Harris on the left. First thing we notice is that Harris, man, she is dialed in. All right.
It seems focused. Yeah.
Very focused. All right. And the size of the circles is how many times they've been there. All right.
Okay.
So the bigger the circle, the larger the size. So you see the blue wall, right? You see the blue
Hmm.
wall states, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Then you see North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona. She hasn't even been to Nevada in the last month and a half. Okay. Obama
Yeah.
was there for her, but she hasn't even been there. All right.
Right. Right.
So the first thing that we see is that Harris is more tightly focused than Trump.
Hmm.
That's not a high bar to attain, because Trump is so unfocused. But
Right.
Trump understands the importance of Pennsylvania. He's been there 16 times. All right.
Yep.
So Trump gets the importance of these states. He's not as focused. So the first strategic insight we get is that Harris, they're very, very careful in where she's spending her time. And the most precious commodity for a candidate is time. All right. It's time. Where do they spend their time? All right.
Okay.
So now let's dial into, I'm just going to stay focused on the Harris campaign. And I want to walk through a pattern. And I'm like so intrigued by this that I can barely get my words out. Okay. I want to walk through a pattern. And that pattern is going to culminate where she's going to be tonight. You know where she's going to be tonight?
No, I don't. Where's she gonna be?
You really don't know where she's going to be
I
tonight?
don't know, man. I don't know. I'm flying 400 people to battleground states today. I don't know where Kamala Harris is gonna be. She hasn't texted me yet.
Wow. Wow. You're you're dude, you
I'm on
got
the
your nose to
ground.
the grindstone, man.
I'm in the weeds, dude. I'm doing the work. Where
She,
is the
you
next
notice
president gonna be?
that big state down in the south central of the country.
She's going to Texas?
She's going to Texas tonight.
Whoa,
Okay.
whoa, wow, that's
And
big.
she okay, Ben. The fact is you don't know this
I
is going to
don't
make a
know.
great closer to this. Okay.
Okay, all right, that's good.
Okay. So you notice she hasn't been to Texas. Okay.
No.
Not since September 1st. All right. So here's the pattern I want to show. I'll take your word. Who she campaigns with and
Yeah.
where.
Yeah,
Who she
okay.
campaigns with and where. Let's start. She campaigns with Liz Cheney
Yep.
in Ripon, Wisconsin, which is the
The
birthplace of the
birthplace of the
Republican Party.
GOP. Yep, that's right.
1854, the Republican Party is founded there. All right.
Yeah.
About 3 weeks ago, when Liz Cheney announces that she's going to campaign with and endorse Kamala Harris, their very first joint appearance
Yeah.
in Ripon, Wisconsin. Now, why do you do this? To highlight, to dramatize
Hmm.
the fact that this Republican is with you, right?
Yeah.
So Cheney is now campaigning with her around the country in various places and on her own. And Cheney has endorsed some Democrats too, all in the service of country over party. What a powerful, powerful message,
Yeah,
right?
it's huge.
So here's some fruits of that moment. Just yesterday, a Green Bay Republican,
Yes, that's right. Okay.
Wisconsin's longest serving state senator. He's still in the legislature.
Yeah, that's a big deal, man. Because a lot of people who are out of office, Cheney included, are like, sure, this guy's got his work on the line. He's got his career on the line here.
He's the longest serving Republican state senator, and he's in Green Bay, which is a swing city
Yep.
in Wisconsin. Then also yesterday, Waukesha's mayor, which is a Republican stronghold, as you well know, and you're
Yep.
there outside of Milwaukee,
Yep.
he endorses Harris. All right.
Yep.
So
That's another huge one.
what Cheney and Harris do in going to Wisconsin and announcing this in Ripon, Wisconsin, and invoking not only the ideals of the Republican Party, but Abraham Lincoln, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They give this what they call in politics the
No,
permission
don't.
structure.
No. Oh no. Everybody's saying that. Oh man. Okay.
The permission structure or slip
Yes.
for
Yes.
other Republicans to come out endorse her, right?
It's true. It's true. People need some cover. They used to call it used to use a military term before, air cover. They used to call it air cover before. But yeah.
Okay. So that's an outcome of Wisconsin. All right, great. That's a smart move by Harris. Nice move. Good move. Strategic move,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then she campaigns in Michigan, the greatest state in the country. She campaigns in Michigan and
Hey, we got some result from that today. Are you going to talk about? Okay, here we
yes,
go.
she goes to
Okay.
Detroit. This was just I think last Friday or last Thursday, and she campaigns with Eminem. All right, this iconic
He
rapper
is.
from Detroit
Yep.
who wears Detroit as like a badge of strength. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
he's all about Detroit. He's filmed commercials for Ford over the years. All right. When the Detroit Lions announced their draft pick this year, they had Eminem come out and announce the draft pick. All right. So
Did they really? I didn't know that.
this is
Okay.
what this dude looks like, right? Classic white
E-
bro dude, right? Okay.
Everyone knows what Marshall Mathers looks like, sir.
Okay. Um,
Also, I mean, famously from the working class, he comes to fame because he's rapping about his life.
mm,
On 8 Mile, there's the movie that
8
comes
Mile.
out, and he's talking about being this poor white dude, and this is like he's speaking for so many people in the Rust Belt there.
He really is. 8 Mile is this famous dividing line between Detroit and its suburbs.
Mhm.
And on one side, black people lived in Detroit, and on the other side, because of police and laws and so on, they weren't allowed to live, let alone go. All
Yeah.
right. So yeah, so Eminem wears like Detroit as this badge. So she comes to Detroit and she campaigns with Eminem. Barack Obama campaigns with her that same day. I don't know if you've seen this clip because I know you're busy, but I'm not going to be able to play it. But Obama comes out and he raps some lyrics from Eminem.
Yeah, knees weak, arms are
Okay.
heavy. Yes. He starts and people are like, "Oh my god, he knows the whole thing." Yep.
Yes. So okay, great move for why she who is the biggest weakness for Harris, the Harris campaign in terms of voters? What's their biggest
White
weakness?
men, white
White
men.
men and
Yep.
black men.
Young white men. Yep. Yep.
Okay. So she goes to Detroit and she comes out in this Detroit versus
Mm.
everybody. All right. And that's
Because she's been talking about how Donald Trump was like, America's going to turn into Detroit.
exactly.
And she has a great ad about that where it uses the clip from him saying that. And then it's got like, who is that? Like Ving Rhames or something doing the voiceover? Like the guy who does the Arby's commercials? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not him, but it sounds like him. But yeah,
And he
okay.
says you'd be so lucky.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's like, you be so goddamn lucky to be. I think he said that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Harris comes out like this. So here's a little bit of evidence that this matters. Here's some data that you and
Yeah.
I have been looking at. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This is tracked by this really great guy on Twitter, Umish voter. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
this is an update of just a couple hours ago. 1.4 million people have voted in Michigan.
I
What
love
you
it.
have here on this table is the top 20-ish cities in terms of votes so far, all right, in the state. And I want to focus on the return rate of mail ballots in the state. Return rate. Detroit is is number one because it's got the biggest city, and so it's going to have the
Mm-hmm.
most votes in the state. So when you look at the mail returned in the state, it's got the most votes, but it's also got the highest
The
return
rate.
rate.
Yeah.
The
Percentage.
highest
That's huge.
return rate. Okay.
That's amazing. I love the in-person voting there too. Almost 8,000,
Well,
almost 10,000 people.
yeah, only they and Canton, I think, are the only two places in the state that have opened it so far. All right. That's
That's
why
great.
everybody else is zero still. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so Detroit is already over half of their 2020 voter turnout. Okay. It's
That's so
amazing.
crazy, dude. That is the crazy. And then 2020 was when everyone was voting by mail. So, I mean, this is to be over half on the
No,
mail side.
half of the total turnout. They're not over half of mail, believe it or not, yet. Okay.
Okay.
Half a total turnout in Detroit. So,
And last time we saw this, it was like 50%. I think a few days ago when we were looking at this.
Yeah, the return rate is 65 now. It keeps going up,
Okay.
because more
Wow.
people returned,
It's
right?
good. Yep.
Okay, so does it make a difference if Harris campaigns with Eminem? Well, we can never say for sure that anything is driven by a single action. But when you walk out with Eminem and Detroit versus everybody, and you got Obama over here doing his
Yeah.
incredible
You're
leadership.
doing all the right things. You're doing
Right.
everything that you should be doing in order to boost that number.
Okay. So
Okay.
where they go next? Well, they went to Pittsburgh and they brought out the Steelers. All right.
Okay,
So
so what so they brought out I see, I don't know about this. Okay, so they brought out like the team? Like
no,
the current like who?
three. So um,
The old the like the classic players, right?
yeah,
The ones.
so they announced endorsements and then they had them at the rally, two people who are still alive and one who has passed, his
Okay.
family. The two people that are alive who endorsed him were Jerome Bettis, the bus,
Oh wow, the
okay,
bus. Yeah.
and Joe Green, Mean Joe Green.
Mean
All right.
Joe Green. How old is that guy?
Yeah, he's young, but he's in his 80s or something, okay? So
Okay, okay. Mean Joe, is he the one who like hit people with the cast? Wait, is
yeah,
that
and he had the famous Coke commercial ad way back in the day when somebody said, "Can I?" This little boy said, "Can I get your jersey, Mean Joe?" And Joe's like, "No," and then he goes, "I'll give you a Coke." And Joe goes, "Okay, here's my jersey. All right." And
that's cool.
so,
Okay, so he was there. Oh, that's awesome.
and then they got one more endorsement. This gentleman, he's passed away, but his family endorsed him, Franco Harris. All right.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
when you
Okay.
come into the airport in
There's like
Pittsburgh,
statues of that guy,
there's a
right?
statue of Franco. All right.
Yeah,
He's legendary. All right.
yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So let's take a look at how the votes are coming back in the state of Pennsylvania. Allegheny, which is Pittsburgh, all right, is leading in the return by ballots, even though it's size wise not much. It's not as big as Philly and it's just about the same as Montgomery. It is over
Oh,
indexed.
this is number. This is not even percentage.
No, these are sheer numbers.
Whoa. It's beating Philly in number. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So you go there. Meanwhile, the Trump or the McCormick campaign, a guy who's running for the U.S. Senate on the Republican side, tweets out and he confuses the Philadelphia Eagles and the Pittsburgh Steelers,
I
these two
saw
iconic
that.
football teams, right?
It was picture it was pictures of the Eagles, and he was talking to he was like, "Well, the Steelers are going to be great this year."
So, okay, so she does this in Philly. I mean, I'm sorry, in
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, doing great. All right. Well, yesterday in Atlanta, it was the bros. All right. I know you're busy, you're like reading a book and everything, but there was a lot going on. So yesterday in Atlanta, in a rally there with VP Harris there, we had President Obama,
Mhm.
Senator Warnock,
Mhm.
Bruce Springsteen,
Oh my God. Bruce
and
Springsteen?
then and
Oh no,
then
this is the yeah, this is the
the
coup de
most
grace right here.
important guy, right?
Seriously, I heard about this one.
Samuel L. Jackson, right?
Yeah, who's never you don't ever see Samuel Jackson in politics.
No, Jackson is iconic figure,
Yeah.
particularly among kind of like African American men. Okay,
Mhm.
just huge. So let me show you this
I'd say
blueprint.
in men of a certain of like, Gen Xers,
Uh huh.
young boomers, Samuel Jackson is like the guy.
So he's famous for several different movies, most famously for Pulp Fiction. Okay.
I don't know if most famously, you ask younger people, and that's Nick Fury right there, who leads the Avengers, sir.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Okay, watch it, watch it.
All right. Okay. Cool. 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 Cool.
We don't want to alienate a generation of our viewers here, okay? We need more young people to watch this. That's
Okay.
Nick Fury. Go ahead.
So there's a national branding organization called Blueprint, and
Okay.
Blueprint has these data on which celebrities, if you got their endorsement, would be the most influential upon you. And so they have this great data among men in America, asking them, what's your favorability or unfavorable opinion of a whole list of people? Okay. So this is the data from them recently, from early October. All right. And the number one most favorable guy, according to men, in this country is Samuel L. Jackson. All right.
What is this?
Okay.
Wait. This is
I knew you'd want
net
to stop here.
net favorable dudes. Okay. This is fascinating. Arnold Schwarzenegger is number 3. Okay, anyways. Higher than Snoop Dogg. Okay, this is definitely across partisan lines then.
Cross
Interesting.
partisan. It's like everybody, because Hulk Hogan is in the middle, and he's definitely high Republicans. Okay.
Yeah, interesting.
So Samuel L. Jackson comes out on the stage. I'm going to play
Oh,
his
this is
endorsement.
people because there's women in here too.
Right. So Zendaya is in here.
And Billie Eilish. Okay. All right. Eminem's up there.
Beyonce, Eminem's up there. Steph Curry, who's been campaigning for Harris.
Beyonce's so low, but you know what? She doesn't come out in person. You know, she's doesn't I could see that. Where's Taylor Swift on here?
Remember, this is among men. This is among men.
Oh, in the eyes of men. Okay.
Yes.
Got
Yeah,
it. Got it.
it's
Got it.
male registered voters. Okay.
Okay. And what? Okay. Got it. Okay. Continue. Samuel L. Jackson, one of the highest. The
He's the
highest.
number one highest dude on this list. Okay. So
Okay.
let's see what he had to say yesterday.
I've not seen this.
Where's it at? Okay, let's see.
If he doesn't use her favorite curse word, I will be disappointed. I'll understand though, but I'll be disappointed.
Well, dude, you are
Eh,
on point. Okay.
yes. I gotta play this for my dad. I don't know if he's seen this. It's gonna make him very happy.
Okay.
Automatic vote. Automatic.
So
I'm pretty okay.
you can see as Jackson speaks here that he's not a politician. Okay.
He's not.
He's not at all. I mean, this makes me like this guy even more. All right. This is only a minute long, short clip.
Okay.
All right. They say you can always tell a Morehouse man, but you can't tell him much. But you can trust a Morehouse man to tell you the truth. Georgia, here's what we have to say to those who would doubt our voice, doubt our power, doubt our vote. This part is over.
Yes.
Like my brother Spike's gonna tell you,
Oh, yeah,
we've been
Spike is
turning
there.
out, we've been turning up, but we can't stop now. Georgia, we got 12 days to choose which way our country is going to go from here, which way our future is going to go from here. That's why I'm so fired up to be here with y'all. And that's why I'm so proud to support our next president of the United States, Kamala Harris.
Okay, that's the first part.
Okay. Oh, well, there's multiple parts. Okay. All right. I love that. I love that. You can always tell a Morehouse man, but you can't tell him much.
Right.
Okay. Just reminding people where he's coming from. All right.
So I didn't know he was from Morehouse too.
Oh yeah.
Jackson.
What are we doing, man? We're doing
I thought that clip had it all, but it didn't have it all. Let's see.
we're doing the lot. Oh no. Hey, just full disclosure, David was so excited this morning. He put this together live right before this. That's definitely not Samuel Jackson right there. My dad would automatically vote for whoever if Samuel Jackson was like, you got to vote for her. Go ahead.
I did not know he was from Morehouse. That is like so even better, man.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of good actors that are Morehouse men.
Oh, here he is. He's still.
Chadwick Boseman was.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
Yep.
She's running on a proven track record of fighting for the people, standing up to bullies, protecting the most vulnerable, and taking on the toughest fights. And we've heard her favorite curse word is a favorite of mine too. But I ain't gonna say that word. But I don't know about you, but that's the kind of president I can stand behind. That's the kind of president I can see leading our country forward.
Right there,
I
man.
like it. I like
Yep.
it. That's right. That's right. It's real. That's very real. I mean, I think a lot of people are coming out to endorse her now. And I think that they may have done it because of where our country is and what our country needs. But I think she personally won a bunch of people over too.
I think you're right, man. I think
You
she
know, I think
personally.
you may get a Samuel L. Jackson endorsement that is like written, um, or like a video that he sends out, but you get him out there on the podium talking to people, and he's nervous, right? Like
Yeah.
he's out of his element, clearly. Actors who do film, they're used to a controlled environment, and everyone's like looking at him and stuff, and it's the people on the set. He's in the stadium. You got people going to the bathroom and getting food and talking to each other. There's people behind him not listening, and it's Samuel L. Jackson for the president of the United States, like talking, and they're just, he's a little out of his element. He's reading from the thing, and you see this with Eminem and everybody too, where they're reading from something,
Yeah.
and they're trying to like get the right words, and so and granted, these words had to be vetted, likely from
Oh, of
from the
course.
Harris campaign, because it's carefully orchestrated, to your point about this being about the campaign. But you get him out there because he believes in her. He actually thinks she should be the next leader. He likes her. There's a relationship that that he's building there. That's a big deal.
So, your comment about, and I got to close us here with the strategic. I'm going to go through the journey all the way to Texas.
Okay, good,
But
because I gotta go.
your point is so well made about she has won people over. Here's an example of that I saw. Charlemagne the God, right?
Yeah,
She
yeah,
goes
yeah.
on his podcast last week, and he's skeptical of her.
Oh,
Okay,
totally.
skeptical.
Yeah, in fact, he was putting stuff out on social that was like, protect your vote. Hey, don't let them, they have to earn it, this shouldn't be automatic. Yep. When the
Right.
world was falling in love with her, he was like, I don't know. Okay.
So now he was on CNN last night as just
Mm.
himself, and Angela Rye, the two of them,
Ah,
with Anderson Cooper, and he took Cooper to task for not focusing on the fascism of Donald Trump. All
did
right.
he really?
Yeah, it's a great clip where he's like, I see you all talking more about whether she's black rather than he's a fascist. Okay.
Mm.
And Anderson Cooper responds, that's bullshit. He says,
Oh,
okay.
are you serious?
Yes, right there, live. And
Oh my
Angela Rye
God.
is like trying to get in on this, and Charlemagne like makes it and he drives it home. And I'm like, there's no way that he
Yeah.
would have done that without her earning it, right?
Yep. Yep. And yeah, because she famously put him in his place because he tried to get her with the gotcha question.
She
And
said,
she basically said that I'm not gonna stand here for that bullshit, Charlemagne. And she like in that clip, she's like, you don't talk to me like that. You don't, and he's just like, that's what I want right there. That's
yeah,
what I
he
want.
started his opening question with her, like, you've been
Yeah.
criticized for using talking points and just repeating the same things. What do you say to that? She goes, you're welcome. She says, you're welcome. That's discipline. All right.
That's
And
right. That's right.
okay,
That's right. She's right. And that is I mean, that's one of those things that when they say you got to earn black men's vote, I think that one of the things that we need people who fight. And I think that one of the reasons why we like Joe Biden is because he would fight. He would talk about, I'm going to take him out back and punch him in the mouth. And that we're like, that's real shit right there. That's real, because so much of politics is like, I'm not going to go here. I'm not going to say this. I'm not, and yet so much of the actions that politicians take is life changing for people. It's life altering. It's life shattering for some people, and it's done on a whim. And some of these motherfuckers need to get punched in the mouth, actually, and
yeah,
more and more. And so to have somebody say that and acknowledge, like, this is how bad some of their actions are, that people who live life authentically and speak their mind, they appreciate when someone kind of breaks through that veil. And she's done it a few times. you know, she's like, if a motherfucker comes in my house, they're getting shot. Like
Right,
that,
she said that,
like
yes.
it's very real and it's very regular and it's
Yeah,
very like the rest of us.
and she had that pause in the debate where she was going to say, you know, and she doesn't say it about Trump. And then she's asked afterwards, what were you going to say? And she says, well, I can't say it, but it starts with an M and it
It was with the
ends with an right? And so
yeah.
so strategic brilliance. Like I think that part of that is just her and who she is,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You can't fake this.
Nope.
But the strategic brilliance of it is they understand and they harness it. They drive it, right?
They do. She knows she's got she's got her own understanding of what to say and when and how much. And then they take the message and they amplify it. They take the signals at the right time and amplify it, amplify, amplify.
Exactly. Okay, so that's yesterday, literally 12 hours ago, 13, 14 hours ago in Atlanta, which brings us to her visit to Houston. All right.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
Queen Bee, all
Mhm.
right,
Mhm.
famously known to an average person like me as Beyonce. Okay.
It's good.
Beyonce is probably the most famous and revered musical artist in the world right now. All right.
Sure.
And she is born and raised in Houston, Texas.
I like how you use the word revered because I think that there's probably more clicks and views on Taylor Swift, but Beyonce is like for the rest of her life will be seen like Aretha Franklin, Tina Turner, Can Do No Wrong. Your presence, your blessing on something is forever going to be something that is like we talk about Samuel Jackson. If she comes out and does and says anything or backs anything, that's like through the roof.
So she's appearing with Harris tonight
Yep,
in
I've
Houston, and
heard
she's
that.
going to perform. She's going to sing. She's going to endorse, I'm sure. Well, that's what it being there means. And so tonight in Harris County, 4.8 million people live in Harris County, bigger than 25 states.
Yeah,
All right.
biggest county in Texas. Biggest county.
Absolutely.
Is it the
Biggest
biggest
county.
county in the country?
No, it's not the biggest county in the country. It's the biggest in Texas, though. All
Okay.
right. And it's 80% Black and brown Americans. All right. If Harris and Colin Allred,
Yeah.
who's running for the Senate seat there, can get their margin of victory to 6, if they can get their support up to 60% in Harris, then the Dems have a chance to win that state. All right. So they know exactly where they're going. They have bringing out Beyonce in her hometown for this moment. This all leads me to conclude this.
Well, hold on. I just one more thing. Beyonce never speaks. She never speaks. She doesn't do interviews. She doesn't. She barely does commercials. So this is like talking about Samuel L. Jackson out of his element. Whatever she says is going to be her stretching. This is a huge deal for her personally to do this. So it's going to be deeply meaningful to people who are a part of the Beehive for sure, but people who just respect her as an artist, it's going to be a moment. This is a moment.
And so what's the Beehive?
It's the people who follow her. It's the people who are fans of hers. But I think just beyond the diehard fans, it's a big moment for people who know how rare it is for her to speak on anything
Yep.
in person. And so that is going to be people are going to like whatever she says, however she says it, is going to move some folks.
Exactly. So this kind of, you look at that, Cheney, Eminem, the Steelers, the Bros, the Queen Bee, this is all strategic brilliance, folks. This is how you run a presidential campaign. And Stuart Stevens, who is a Republican strategist over the years and worked on the George W. Bush campaigns, was the lead strategist for Mitt Romney in 2012, has helped to elect Republicans his entire life, wrote a book a couple years ago where he said it was all a lie. All right.
Yes.
And he's
Yeah,
very
we talk about
critical.
this a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, very critical of the Republicans. And he's a never Trumper. Okay. And this is what he told Vanity Fair yesterday. He said, I think the Harris campaign is running what we're probably going to look back as the best presidential campaign ever run. All right.
That's huge. Somebody like him who's been in the back rooms of strategy for campaigns for his entire life. That's a big deal.
Now, I think that in order to get that kind of an accolade, you got to win, right?
Yes.
You got to
Yeah.
win. You
Yeah.
can't. It's so she's run an amazing campaign. She wasn't even campaigning. It wasn't even a campaign a little over 3 months ago, like 94 days ago. All right.
Mhm.
So what she's done and they've done is amazing. Now, I think they're running these last 2 weeks in this final stretch run with this brilliance across these states. And tonight, she brings it to Houston, Texas, we're going to be in Texas is one of our states we're in this weekend, right?
There's a team going there right now on the way.
Yep. So we being Common Power here are in this to win it too. All right. And so we're in Texas, and that's why you're getting on a plane. And we are fortunate to have, in my view, to have a candidate running this good of a campaign at this point. All right. We are fortunate to have someone like this at the top of the ticket. And Colin Allred has got a chance.
Oh yeah, he's
Texas.
got a real shot with this.
got
He's
a
going to
real
get it,
chance.
and he's peaking at the right time. This guy, I mean, he's going to ride this train. All we need is a few percentage points in Texas to get
Exactly.
that Senate seat. That's all we need.
They're saying Allred in the Harris campaign are saying if we can get to 60% in Harris, and where have they been? They've been at 55, 56%. Biden was.
Okay.
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 A couple more points in Harris. So
Okay, man.
all right.
This is good. I like this analysis. This is really good. Let's keep it going.
Man, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So it's true that I am a Harris voter, and I want the Democrats to win. But most of all, I'm about our vote. All right. That's what we are at Common Power. That's what the name Common Power means. We should all have the most and be able to utilize the most common power in a democracy, the right to vote.
That's right.
And the Harris campaign is out there trying to make it easier for us to vote. And when we get her elected, we're gonna pass a Voting Rights Act.
All right. We got a lot of work after that, folks. Buckle up.
Yeah.
This is just the beginning. I know it feels like the closing of something, but this is the beginning of something big here.
Where do people get the merch that's on your head, for example? Just to wrap this up, where do they buy
Go to the website. Go to the website. This is exclusive for this push for this year. Volunteers for Voters in the bright red. That's what we are. Common Power. We are volunteers for voters across the country. Join us now. We still got chips going out. The last week of the election, leaving on November 1st, we got trips going to Arizona and Pennsylvania, Michigan. I don't know if you know about that state. We're going, y'all. Come with us. Let's go. I got to go, man. Let's go. I got to get out of here.
See ya.
See ya.